cement, or everything. Answer the fucking thing. Answer the fucking thing.
My cousin told me it was Carmine who invented point shaving.
CCNY versus Kentucky, 1951. Nobody beat the spread. I bought a black Fleetwood.
Carmine Sr. served as the boss of the Lupertazzi family until his death at the beginning of season 5. When we first meet Carmine, he asks Tony if the psychiatrist is helping. Contrast that with Tony's family finding out that he's seeing a psychiatrist and literally wanting to kill him.
So what? There's no stigmata these days. My kid saw a shrink. He got court ordered for that thing with his wife. They're very happy now.
Carmine knows what's up. Don't underestimate him.
Our family's been doing our Jersey business a long time with the Sopranos, in a peaceful and profitable way. And I want to keep it like that.
As the boss, Carmine values both of his families.
Let's get started. My daughter-in-law's coming in with the baby later. How's Junior? He's gonna be all right. Tell him he's in our prayers, etc.
I love how Carmine says etc.
John said he went to a cookout at your house.
Yeah.
Don doesn't wear shorts.
All right, come on.
In season 4, episode 4, The Wait, Johnny Sack asks Carmine if he'll sanction a hit on Ralph Cifaretto, as Johnny wants revenge for Ralph making the Ginny Sack mole joke. They have a sit-down. Carmine tells Johnny,
There are millions of dollars at stake.
Again with the money?
Yeah, again with the money. It's settled, John. So either name a price or get the fuck over it.
Johnny doesn't get over it. Not at that moment, anyway.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Me? Nothing.
What does that mean?
I didn't say nothing. We share the Esplanade, Tony. I don't want that apple cart upset.
Yeah, then somebody should do something about it.
I appreciate your thoughts.
You saying what I think you're saying?
I didn't say nothing.
But then, crisis averted at the last moment when Johnny Sack changes his mind and decides to forgive Ralph.
We've been down this road before.
We done here?
So after Polly tells Johnny Sack about the HUD scam, Carmine's not happy again.
We share Zellman. Therefore, any of the fruits of Zellman, we're entitled to.
And it's because of this ongoing issue that Tony goes down to Miami to see little Carmine in the first place.
I understand. And I appreciate the respect you've shown me by coming down here and reaching out to me at this time.
Little Carmine is the son of Carmine Sr. He's married to Nicole, and they have 2 kids, a son and a daughter. Though we only see the son once in Marco Polo.
Daddy! The boat is sinking!
And we only hear about the daughter once, and that's in season 6, episode 19, when Carmine is talking to Tony about AJ and his issues.
When Alexandra had that bout of anorexia, we had this terrific psychologist.
Now, what does little Carmine do?
He does porn.
He did Cleaver. He's branching out.
Some of you know I've had 9 pictures under my subspecies. 4 in the South Beach Strumpet series alone, each with 30,000 plus DVDs in print. I am reminded of Louis the whatever's finance minister. Does something. He built the chateau. Nicole and I saw it when we went to Paris. It even outshone Versailles, where the king lived. In the end, Louis clapped him in irons.
Though Johnny Sack and little Carmine appear to be friends at first, or at the very least friendly, it's not long before shit hits the fan there.
You put your sunblock on?
He's an old-fashioned guy, Pop, very allegorical.
You distracted me. I'm taking a mulligan. Hardhead, this Soprano kid. And the ego. I tell you though, when I first met him, decisive as he is, I would have been proud to call him my own son.
So when Carmine makes this comment about when he first met Tony, how he would have been proud to call him his own son, I think that triggers something in Carmine Jr., little Carmine, an insecurity that causes him to then project onto Johnny.
Whatever they are, Carmine, the Sopranos bring in a lot of cash.
On reflection, John, maybe that's the sticking post. Tony feels like you're friends and not business associates.
See? What am I always saying? I hate this fucking shit. Let's split the difference. 20%.
I'm 15.
You know what? In the interest of putting this shit to bed, that's what it's going to take. 15. My son was a big help in all this. I want you always to remember that. Even after I'm gone. But I'm not going no place.
Healthy as a fucking rhino, this guy.
Remember how Ma, she hated compliments? Giving them or taking them? Because then maybe, at any minute, boom.
What's the matter? Come on. Come on. All right, come on.
So then Johnny Sack turns around and gives it back to them. This time, at Carmine Sr.'s funeral, via Opus Dei.
In his later years, your father was very sensitive about what's been going on in the church.
Bullshit.
That bullshit from Carmine reminded me of Hugh for a second.
But historically, historical changes come out of war.
So now we've got another Stagmire on our hands. Who's going to be the next boss of the Lupertazzi family?
The fundamental question is, will I be as effective as a boss like my dad was? And I will be. Even more so, but until I am, it's going to be hard to verify that I think I'll be more effective.
Johnny Sack wastes no time at all in trying to solidify his position as the next boss. He's not afraid to take some people out to show it. Once little Carmine sees all of this violence and bloodshed, he decides he doesn't want it to be this way. He doesn't want to be the guy on top if this is what it's going to take.
All due respect, Carmine. That's why you need to get out there. Put your ear to the street. Let the guys see you take the reins.
That's not how I want to handle it. There's one thing my father taught me, it's this. A pint of blood costs more than a gallon of gold.
Something else his father may have taught him was mind games.
About all this stuff that's going on, Tony and all.
what's your name again?
Paulie Gaultieri. Jersey?
Your father was run over by a trolley, right?
Now, I know that some people think that Carmine really didn't know who Polly was here, that he wasn't just messing with Polly. But I find that hard to believe. I mean, think about how much Carmine knows.
How do you know about that, the fuck over there in New York?
There's nothing to be ashamed of, Tony. Is the psychiatrist helping?
Oh, you know about that too? Whatever happened to privacy?
Johnny talked to you about me, right?
Johnny who? Sack? Talk to me about what?
Now, what I'd love to see is a truce. Wipe the slate clean. The no-shows, the wire room, veto, put it all behind us.
Yeah.
Your brother Billy, whatever happened there,
All right then.
Whatever happened there?
the shooting.
Whatever happened there?
God rest his soul. Huh? You know what? Give me an Arnold Palmer instead of the iced tea.
Okay.
I always enjoy those, but it never occurs to me to order one.
Step up, Carmine.
I hear you, Tony, and I'm flattered. But boss, I don't think so.
Bill was bad enough in the top spot, but him I could have lived with.
Here you go.
Phil, you could have lived with. You sure about that, Tony?
One night around then, I had this dream. It's my pop's 100th birthday, even though he's been dead for years. Anyway, I give him his present, this mellifluous box. He opens it up, then looks at me. There's nothing in the box. So he hands it back to me. Go fill it up, he says.
After Jerry Torsiano is killed by Doc Santoro, while Jerry's out to dinner with Sylvia Dante, Tony and Carmine meet, and Carmine tells Tony why he's not going to be the boss. That his wife, Nicole, told him she wants him to quit. Why? Because she doesn't want to be the wealthiest widow on Long Island.
That dream with my father, the empty box, wasn't about being boss. It's about being happy.
Something that always sticks out to me is the empathy, or at the very least, the appearance of empathy.
I usually send the bags up, hit the bar, decompress a little unless you're against it.
What are you talking about?
You're an AA. Just don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
I'm
I'm sorry to learn about the marital situation, Tony. Our thing is more than a likelihood. One of us suffers a personal tragedy, falls ill, and whatnot. We all feel it deeply.
It didn't have to be this way.
My price is you help us get a location on Phil. I can't go there. But you do what you gotta do.
The lingering question I always have in my mind regarding little Carmine. When Carmine shoots Butchie that look, when Tony asks for a location on Phil, I wonder what exactly Carmine was trying to get across to Butchie. My best guess would be, don't give them the location on Phil. Because Butchie then says, I can't go there, but you do what you gotta do. But part of me thinks it was more than that. It makes me think about that theory that Carmine was a lot smarter than he let on. There's a theory that little Carmine actually orchestrated the war between the Lupertazzi and DeMeo families at the end. We'll never know for sure, but I think it is worth talking about. No relationship is perfect, whether it's husband-wife, father-son, mother-daughter, you name it. But I feel like they genuinely cared for each other as father and son. And when it comes to the world of The Sopranos, as we know, you can't take anything for granted. Not even the loyalty of your own blood relatives. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts.